the Sun, Season 7, Episode 54, where we watch Catching Kelce, Season 1, Episode 1. And it's like Dave and Buster's in here. Whack-a-mole. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I'm cute and easy to pick up, you know? This is Brian.
Sit your little pigeon self down like a bird. This is Noah Singer.
Those are quotes from this week's show. But last week's show, we watched Glow Up on Netflix, and we put a poll on Twitter. You guys voted it a top third show.
Decent. Good job, audience. Good job.
Good job. Tell us what you thought about this week's show on Twitter. I don't know what the fuck to call it.
X.
Whatever. Noah, what was the show we watched this week?
In search of his soulmate, NFL player Travis Kelce dates one woman from each state. That is the full summary. Catching Kelce. Originally airing on E! for Entertainment Channel and now available for purchase on many purchase video sites.
It's weird when you Google it, it shows up on NBC.com.
Yeah, I see that too. It's very strange.
Yeah, so we purchased it on Vudu, but it's available on Amazon and Google and iTunes and all that stuff. And I'm gonna give you a hot take here. If you like The Bachelor, I think you're gonna like this show.
You think it is The Bachelor?
But well, I'm just saying I don't like The Bachelor, and
Yeah.
I thought this show was insufferable.
I mean, is there any difference between this and The Bachelor, literally beyond a famous person being The Bachelor?
Well, The Bachelor doesn't have 50 women from 50 states.
Yes, I mean yes, but like in purely the game mechanic, it's literally.
I mean, it's pretty similar. At least, I don't. The first episode's usually I don't know. We always usually watch the first episode of these Bachelors, and it's usually like it's all about the people on the show, not the actual Bachelor yet.
Yeah, and that same thing happens up here, except now we had 50 of them, and we just immediately said, nope.
I just don't understand what the point of 50 women was.
Yeah, that's very unclear.
That was it. Get all the states. Like, it was just the gimmick.
Yeah, I think it would have been better. It would have been better, like, because clearly they have to have some kind of partnership with the NFL, right? Because the NFL treats all their players like their property. And so, like, they should have.
Can they do that? Well, I guess
I mean, they're super tight on like anything, right? Like it's anyway. I think instead of 50 states, which seems to have no connection, they should have had like one representing every NFL team. And I think that would have been more appropriate.
32, yeah.
Right, but it would have been like at least more of a logical connection between the 50 states.
And Travis Kelce
means nothing. Yeah, it's like, why does Travis need one from each state?
I'm very disappointed in this show because Travis Kelce, he's pretty funny on the TikToks. He's a funny guy. Yeah. He's a funny guy.
He is.
And like, you see clips of this guy being funny, and I think he is genuinely funny sometimes when he's on the show.
Yeah.
But the show's not about Travis Kelce. It's about these 50 women trying to date Travis Kelce and all the cattiness and bitchiness and pride and glory and boobs and butt, and like it's just like not entertaining.
I mean, you made a pretty compelling pitch. It's just all boobs and
you know, this is pretty entertaining, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
terrible. Like, who wants
I mean, if you think The Bachelor is entertaining, then I think you think this show's entertaining. I've already said that.
Yeah.
The girls on this are way thirstier, though.
They're very. That is so. One, I don't think it's so heavy. It's not so heavy on just the girls. Like I do think they get into Travis a bit, but yeah, the biggest difference is like they're extra thirsts because Kelce's a very famous rich person to a degree, right? So it's like not just random Bachelor.
He is a very eligible Bachelor.
He is.
Yep.
That's why they want to catch him.
Yeah, all right. Let's go through what happens in this episode. We've gone into it a bit, but so you got 50 women. They go to the stadium, the Kansas City Stadium, which they call the Coliseum.
No. they're in Los Angeles. So
they're
Travis takes a little break for the offseason in LA. And so they go to the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl.
Oh, no, sorry. No, you're right. It was the LA Coliseum.
Yeah, it's the Coliseum.
Yeah. LA Coliseum. Yeah.
That's probably why I was confused when I Googled Kansas City Coliseum. And I didn't get any results. I was very confused.
Yeah.
So you got 50 women. They like show clips of these women as, you know, they're at this football. They're doing the, you know, behind the scenes clips or whatever. And I just don't understand why I have to care. I don't know. It wasn't that great. So they all had 60 seconds on the clock to introduce themselves to Travis Kelce. And then Travis Kelce eliminated half of them off the bat.
60%. Like
30 people.
30 people?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 25. 30 people. That's right. It was 20 people got invited back to the mansion.
Yeah. I really like that. Like the deep cut off the bat is kind of like that Scream thing. It's like you don't expect it. Boom.
I can't believe they cut Pennsylvania, though. Pennsylvania was really rocking it.
I have a theory on why Pennsylvania was so bad, and it's because nobody can compare to Jason Kelce, so fuck him.
But you'd probably want Jason. Like, so Jason is on the show too, as like he's my buddy. He's gonna help me out, kind of thing. I don't know, real weird. We could talk about it, but like I feel like a Pennsylvania would have been a good one for like Travis to be like, yeah, Pennsylvania. Eagles.
What are you talking? She froze up. So I took notes on Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know. That's what we were joking. That was the joke. Pennsylvania was clearly the worst one. Like, whether that was due to editing or not, I don't know. But
literally the only one who phoned it in.
Yeah, like there were some rare. So I took down some notes like on this. So one, you know, Arizona has these like crazy booby dance moves she does to like get his attention. Florida comes out, mentioning she just cut flowers at a wedding. Kansas City comes and say my bro just got married on The Bachelor, which is kind of nuts. Iowa just starts singing, like belting out songs.
She wanted a partner for karaoke, right?
Yeah. Virginia hugs him for 60 seconds.
I think that was a great move. Because no matter what, you've gotten 60 seconds with Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I think the best move was what somebody did at the elimination that didn't happen during this part, where they just made out. Like
that's the move.
That would have been a power move right at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get back there, but yeah,
we'll get back to that. But
yeah,
I think that would have been a good move. Like the hugging. Yes. Did the hugging girl get kicked off?
I'm pretty sure she did. I can't recall.
Like she didn't have anything. Like
she had a hug.
No.
Yeah. Clearly he was feeling awkward about it.
The other thing about the 50 states makes it so like everyone just calls them by their state name.
Yeah.
Like you're Kansas, you're Ohio, you're Kentucky. Like you've got no name anymore. You're just Rhode Island.
I definitely like it a little bit more. It's a little bit more demoralizing than the team names.
They're on Squid Game. They're not a number. You're just a state.
Yeah. Although then it's like, you're the Giants of the Jets.
Yeah. One thing I found weird is that they have for these 60-second meetups, they have Travis standing in the middle of the field, and yet they have the girls come from basically where the locker rooms are to walk out. So each of them have to walk like 70 yards in this like extremely awkward, like come on down to the ring. Like some do like lunges on their way out, some run on their way out. Like it's kind of crazy that they make them have this long runway.
I liked it. Although we only really got to see that, like if they did something interesting while they walked out.
Yeah.
It's like a catwalk. It's really like you get the most impression while you're walking out for your 60 seconds. It's weird they got 60 seconds in the middle of the field, but they had like 10 minutes to walk out, the edge to the middle.
Yeah. It's not good.
There was another good move that I really liked, and I thought it was actually a really, really good way to intro yourself. She flirted with him by like giving like the hand gesture for like pleasuring oneself.
Jerking off.
It was rolling the dice, Brian.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that was like what Travis got fined for it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really, really good.
It was very good.
For gambling.
He got fined for doing that as like a celebration move, and I think at that point, like celebration moves were like really like heavily fined.
Okay. Yeah, this was his first contract extension, right? So he was like 26.
Yeah,
I think when the 25, 26 when the show was filmed. He's 33 right now. He's still single, quote unquote, which we haven't really talked about. You know, the whole Travis Taylor Swift thing.
Who's she? I mean, that's why we pivoted to this show.
Yeah,
it's like
I know. We did technically pivot to the show because if you look at the show description for last week, it said a different show, which I don't even remember what that show was.
Buddy Games.
Buddy Games.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do Buddy Games next week.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah. But it's kind of interesting because like Travis is like doesn't want to talk about it, but he's in the media all the time. But then she was at the game this weekend. I made a big deal about it. Who knows when you listen to this if they're still together? I don't know.
No, we'll know. There will be a song.
Well, so it's never been confirmed yet. They're actually dating.
No,
there's enough like breadcrumbs to be like we can put two and two together.
Yeah, but Travis is like literally this morning came out with like, you know, she is a person that doesn't like to be in the public eye, which obviously she is, which is weird. So he doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't talk about it. So like, what does that mean? That means they're like together.
Yeah. More breadcrumbs.
Like they might not be quote unquote dating because they're like almost two of the most famous people in the U.S. right now. Like,
oh, right now, yeah. You know, it's
like I don't know what kind of dates you can do. You can do some Netflix and chills.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I mean you could just do what he actually did and rent out the entire restaurant for his date and then the entire football team.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
I saw something. I mean, may or may not be true. I like to believe it's true.
You like to believe it's true?
Yeah.
No, I like to believe it's true.
Well, we'll add an article or we'll send it to our chat.
Look it up. You know, tweet at us. Anyway, so that's why we pivoted to this. It's very topical 2016 show in 2023.
Yeah.
To see Travis Kelce try to date someone. And now, you know, we know like most seasons of The Bachelor, we know it doesn't end up with success. It ends in failure.
Is that, do we know that? Is that like a statistic we know about?
That is a statistic, yeah. There's only like 3 or 4 wet marriages like out of The Bachelor, like total.
Oh.
Like it's really low. It's like the ratio is terrible.
But like 3 or 4 out of like 50?
Out of however many seasons they've had.
Yeah.
Like if you include BIP, I think there's a little bit more. Yeah. But
because like if the American average is 50%, right? It's a relative, you know. So if they're like
50% of what?
Marriages get divorced, right? Isn't that like the U.S. statistic? So like if they're at a 50%,
you don't actually get married at the end of The Bachelor. You just get engaged ish.
Yeah.
Oh right.
There's a proposal.
This is not. This isn't Married at First Sight.
Sorry, I was in Love is Blind mode, and so I forgot.
Somebody's shouting out early today.
Nah, I mean, unfortunately, my wife was watching. It was on. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, not worth talking about.
All right, let's talk about the next part of this show. So they do the 50 states, whatever. That gimmick's over. Then 20 of them go to the mansion. So they all go to this like rented out house in LA where they stay in like 8 in beds in one room or whatever. And they get ready. It's pretty baller house. I'm not going to lie. Like it's got a really sweet infinity pool. Like I just want to kind of stay there.
Yeah, it's dope.
So they get ready to go out and meet Travis at some sort of party, his contract extension party, which is really just a party for the show with some of his friends. So everyone has to go and get their own time with Travis.
Mhm.
And here we find the most annoying person on the show that I wanted to shoot by the end of this episode. Not literally, but like I definitely hated this person.
Whoa.
Her name was, oh my god, I know I wrote it to Salma.
Yeah.
Salma
Salma.
from
She's just like,
Connecticut.
oh,
We're talking about Connecticut.
no idea. Like they locked eyes at some point, Travis and her, and she's just like, she just couldn't get over in her head that she thought they were together. Essentially, like they're like soulmates, and she didn't need to talk to Travis. Like she didn't need to like put any effort into the show because obviously her and Travis are meant to be together. And like it was funny the first time or like whatever, but the show kept cutting to this crazy person. And I literally I'm really annoyed at the editors for this. Like it just I don't care about this woman. She's clearly gone. And she's gone. She leaves obviously after this part section because she didn't talk to him. And it's like, well, how are you supposed to stay in the show when you don't talk to the main person?
Yeah.
And then why do we have so many edits of this woman that's like clearly insane?
Yeah, it's a little weird, like how much time they gave her, but it did create a story arc, right? To be fair, like
a story arc of this person's crazy.
Well, for her to have the rise and fall,
like I understood seeing some of it. I never said that, right? Like I understood like seeing some of her crazy, but like anytime she was on screen after the first like 3 times, she must have been on screen like 10 times, saying like, "Oh yeah, Travis and I were soulmates."
Right.
I can't wait to talk to him during this like next section where the elimination section, which it was too late at that point, and it's like. I don't know.
Yeah,
this really annoyed me about this show.
I don't know. I'm not as pissed off about the edit because it created the story for episode 1. One of the stories, right? And so,
I think. But like Chris's point, like if it's just like gonna like it's not good for like episode 1 if like it's gonna drive like hatred to you. Actually, maybe it is. Actually, people thrive off that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm in Noah's side.
I don't need to tell you how you should feel about this. No, I'm just telling you how I felt about it.
I totally get it. I just like it is. You have to create like these different characters, and so they created her as that character, and great to move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Just so the women and men just mingle at this party. Travis meets some of them. We find out one of the names of this woman is V Rich.
V Rich, yeah.
And great. I'm like, no one believes your name is V Rich. Like, I don't believe that. It seems like you want to find somebody V Rich. Or, if you are V Rich, you want to find another V Rich person.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know if there's anything really to talk about during this party.
Not during the party.
One of the women was oh man, I cannot think today. Was Travis blocking, or at least accused of Travis blocking?
Annika from Minnesota. The girls didn't like her. They really didn't like her. But it seems like all the guys liked her. Like it seems like it was unclear. The edit here was really weird.
I would threaten Brian with a quiz, and it seems like Noah's ready for this quiz. He's like,
he's ready.
He's got Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont.
Let's go.
Like,
Let's go, Chris. What do you got? What do you
got? There was just no way. Like everything was just moving so fast, and like I wanted to pay attention. Like there were more good quips.
Yeah, there were some good quips. Somebody said class speaks for itself, and I think that was Crazy Woman. During this party, the party again. So like, I actually liked the 60-second piece, but like this party piece, I didn't like. This is when I started checking out of this show. This was just like random conversations about random stuff, and like I just like wasn't that entertaining for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was that. For comparing to other shows of this type, I actually thought there was more captivating. I can't really say why at the moment, but it definitely wasn't as bad as The Bachelor. Maybe because like there wasn't so much backstory that like kind of like dribbles on.
The first episode of The Bachelor is way worse than this.
Right.
Like, the first episode of The Bachelor is like excruciatingly long about all the people on the show.
Well, they're showing everybody 60 seconds. Like, everybody's having their intro, and it's like, hey, look, I made you a cake. Hey, look, I can do a cartwheel. And you don't want to see all of them. You want to see the highlights. And that's what we got with this show.
Speaking of which, I'll tangent this for a second, is that the Golden Bachelor this season, new show, we're going to do it, but we're not going to do episode 1. We're going to try to do we're trying to get some Bachelor fans on the podcast, but we're going to do a bracket on bracketology.com. If anyone's interested in joining us, you can find our bracket who put this on.
Sweet.
At the Golden Bachelor, for the Golden Bachelor on bracketology.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this show. So they have this party, whatever. Then they go back to the house, and Travis shows up on some sort of webcam, which is pretty good tech for 2016. This is before Zoom. And he gives 8 people that have to come to the house, and 5 of them are going to get eliminated, which seemed like a lot of people. Like, I don't know, 8 to eliminate 5 seemed like a lot, and clearly Crazy Woman gone. And the other shocking thing that happens is Travis accuses somebody of like, I think we're going to be we're more like friend zoned.
Yeah.
And then she comes up and just makes out with him and then gets to stay.
It's incredible.
The most
incredible
entertaining thing I think that happens on this show, for sure.
That's one of the more entertaining things I think I've seen in a while on these shows, where it's very unclear if he actually was going to cut her, and then he's like, "Oh, we're in."
I think he was going to cut her.
100% going to cut her.
Yeah,
like
that's
you can't
nuts.
use the word friend zone and then not cut her.
The other person who she was up against was kind of just like sitting back, and like that's what Travis accused her of. And then, of course, like just not making a move. It was clear that, like, yeah, if you're not going to do this, you're gone.
Yeah, I think so. This is Victoria from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So,
do you have the website in front of you? Because you're freaking me out, dude. You can't just be pulling.
I just have good notes. Okay. Yeah. So Victoria from Rhode Island. So the one that got knocked out was Bobby from Arizona.
All I have is all I know is the person that got kicked out were big boobs.
Yeah. So she does the booby dance moves. That was her thing, like to introduce herself. But anyway, yeah, Victoria from Rhode Island. She has gone up the ranks of like one of the most impressive reality show candidates just for this move. Like, it's so baller.
She was also the one that did Brian's quip, right? About being short and being able to be picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's her.
There was also somebody that did something with their tongue at some point.
Yeah.
I wrote that down.
Tongue. I don't have what that is, actually.
I know the right moves was the line, and then she could, like, those people that have like quadruple tongue like muscles or something. She did that, and it was weird.
Are we all going to have a competition for this after this?
I mean, I can roll my tongue. I can't do any of the like.
Same. Yeah, I can only do the hot dog.
The hot dog. Some people can't do the hot dog. It's very weird.
It's a genetic thing.
No, I know it's okay. Everyone in the audience needs to know it's genetic.
Yeah. But if you try hard enough,
I'm not gonna feel guilty for not being able to do the hot dog, Chris. It's not weird.
No, it's not weird. It's not weird. It's just interesting when somebody can't do it. That's all. Leave me alone. Yeah, and that's the end of the episode. Travis Kelce and the Kez brothers also in the episode.
His manager, Aaron. Manager.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty short, but Travis is pretty tall. So
they're big guys. Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell. Yeah, it's interesting how his manager, Aaron, had like a notable role, and it seems like it will be like continued on. Like, you wouldn't expect that, and like it's not like he had like great screen presence. It wasn't like such a great character. Yeah, very unclear.
Well, it's more like the producers like, oh, you need to have like some people to like bounce ideas off of and have conversations about these women without these women. And obviously you got his brother, but maybe his brother Jason can't be in the whole episode, you know? So they have to bring somebody else in. So he brings in his friend. I mean, it makes kind of sense. Like you get the entourage kind of thing where like it's just like you bring your best friend in to be your manager because that like gives him a job, and he can just learn on because people want to talk to you. Like it's not.
I don't think Aaron's his best friend. Like it's unclear. It's unclear.
Oh, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what you should do? You should go and watch the documentary Kelce on Amazon Prime. Pretty good documentary. Travis is in it, but it's mostly about Jason and the Eagles going to the Super Bowl last year. But you get to see I think a much better side of Travis with his like nieces and like the lead up to the Super Bowl. Versus this kind of, I don't know how you describe, what would people call it, like Travis, the player side of Travis?
Definitely say the player side, especially since I saw one headline that was like warning to Taylor Swift that he's a player and cheater.
Well, like, so the 8 people that go to this, like, this thing, the hottest 3 are the ones that stay. And the audible one,
I don't agree.
Definitely like bigger boobs were out and ready to stay. And then
I disagree. I very much disagree that
you disagree.
There are a lot of people he cut in the beginning, and even I think in this round, where if you're going purely on looks, I don't think he would make the same decisions.
Well, that's fair. These women are already all pretty hot, so like they probably already met his bar, especially the 8 women, I'd imagine. But that's fair. But the women that he kept were pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting pick of people. Like they have a lot of variety of like different looks, and I wouldn't say like everyone is like a solid 10. Like you would think, you know, being him, he could probably easily just like fish in a pond, you know. But yeah, like they had variety, which I think was good, and yeah, he kept people on too, which was nice.
All right, let's do some questions.
Well, I got a couple things I want to cover real quick.
Okay. Right.
So first off, we missed our best quote of the night. I'm in a house with so many women, it's fucking awful.
Yeah,
that's got to be what everybody thinks on these reality shows, and it's just
especially these bachelor ones where it's just women for like one guy or all guys for one woman.
That's right. So that was Annika from Minnesota again, right? And like all the women are hating on her, then all the guys are like, "Yeah, she was hilarious. Like she was super funny." And it's like again, I think it's this weird edit they have of her because they definitely make her seem like kind of kooky. But then people really seem to dig like her vibe actually in person. Well, the guys do, at least.
Yeah, well, obviously the guys are going to be different than the girls because the girls are in a fierce competition for one dongle. And the guys are, you know, they got the dongle, and all the women want the dongle.
The dongle, man.
And we also missed talking about the house meeting, which it wasn't that interesting to like see this whole like thing, but there was one part where somebody apparently spilled wine on the stairs, CD, and it comes out during the confessional. Yeah, we're having this whole meeting about this, and it's really about me. I'm the one that did that.
Yeah, she was. I really like though her like yeah, that was me, and it was pretty fun watching like V shit her pants. She's like, yeah, that was good.
I wonder if like she watches the show later, and she's like, "Damn it, Cece!
Yeah.
Like I knew it. It was you."
Yeah, it was so good. And then V has this line that I love. There's like, she's like, "Yeah, you know that Cece? She likes that liquor. She likes that alcohol. She likes mixing those things together." I was like, Let's rewind that.
All right,
I'm ready for questions.
Questions.
I got
no.
we got one other.
Just because we go to questions, doesn't mean you can't bring minutia up later.
But it should be minutia should be before questions.
All right. Okay.
So there's one woman, the woman from Tennessee. I forget her name. She's very religious, hardcore religious.
London.
And she claims to be a born again virgin. And she makes this very clear that she is on a TV show. And wow,
she's a self-proclaimed severe Christian.
Severe Christian. I don't
know what that means, but she's it.
Yeah. And Travis is not digging her vibe. She gets like a quick chat with him, and he's like, "Oh, so where are you from?" And it went, "I'm from Jesus." Or I'm from Tennessee.
I'm from Tennessee. It's a very Christian area. I'm very Christian. Are you Christian? Was like the conversation.
Yeah, and he's like, "Whoa, that's kind of a lot, but I respect you for being that. But you're gonna get cut."
Yeah, he's clearly trying to bang some people, and being very severe Christian does not enter that sphere. All right. Who's the worst human being? And why was it Salma?
I don't know. V Rich, I got more on my nerves than Salma.
V Rich? Was she the one that wanted the house vote thing, house meeting or something?
Yeah, she organized the house meeting.
Okay. Yeah, she was really annoying. I could go with that. I feel like Salma was more annoying just because of the edit and not like who she was. But she also was like really like, she's clearly a person that had never had to like try to get someone. So like she was just under the impression everyone wanted her. So that would be Travis.
And there was a girl from Ohio. It was kind of funny. She's like, "Well, I've dated a professional athlete before, so I got this. Like, I know how it goes down." And she's part of the first 30. Out.
This is clearly not the apex for Travis. Although I don't know if he's on like any other shows, but I guess the podcast I would consider a show. It's way bigger than this.
Is it?
Mainly because I've never heard of this until shout outs to Rob, our former co-host, was like, "You got to do this." And we're like, "We do." I did not know this existed.
Yeah, we're definitely part of a wave. I'm sure they're like spiking on purchases of the show across the country.
Well, I'm sure Netflix or Amazon's got to be trying to get the rights to this show, right?
I mean, they're going to miss the wave, right? Like the wave is right now. You have to catch it.
Well, they had, sometimes Hollywood can be quick. Could be on October 1st.
I don't even know if that's, I think it's too late.
Too late? No way.
We're in it, right?
It's in like 5 days.
Yeah.
This wave, all it takes is for Taylor Swift to be at another game and it's back in.
You think so? You could be right. I definitely don't feel like very confident in my prediction here. Because like the amount of mania around Taylor Swift like just ceases to surprise me.
You know what was really crazy about this whole thing is like, okay, the podcast, apparently they got a ton of like questions from Taylor Swift fans about football. And like the questions were, what is a down? And like, what is a field goal? And they tried to go through and answer all the questions on their podcast. So like really getting into like these younger non-football fans.
Maybe we're going to pull back the covers. They're actually not dating. Taylor got a minority stake ownership in the NFL. And so she's like, how can I make more money?
She's the next Vince McMahon.
I just don't think that how much of a stake would she need to like move the needle? She's worth a lot of money. Like if she owned 100% of the podcast or whatever money, like that's nothing. It's nothing.
No, of like NFL, like
but there's no one owns a stake in the NFL. The owners.
Right. So imagine she went to every owner gave her 1%. of their like whatever they get.
Oh, you're just being silly. No one.
They
No
would take
one
it.
has
In
that.
They would take it in a heartbeat. That
They
deal
would
though.
not.
They definitely. Are you? Look at what she's doing. Are you kidding me? That would be a sweetheart deal for the NFL of Taylor bringing in a whole new demographic. Oh my God, that'll be a slam dunk. Slam dunk. But yeah, that's my conspiratory thought of the day.
Right, I like this.
All right, we got to do drinking rules, and for this show, you got to drink while they drink, right? Like that's you need that.
Yeah.
Brian, you got a drinking rule for us?
We're just gonna kill everybody that watches this show. Drink every time there's a sexual innuendo.
It's pretty good.
That's a good one.
You got one for us, Noah?
Yeah. Every time something about football is mentioned, take a toe-sized drink.
I'm sorry, everybody. You're just gonna.
You're not gonna be able to drink all those.
Yeah, there's actually not
stop
great...
drinking when you're too drunk.
Yeah, there's not a great drinking rule for the show. Like, there's not something that happens like 15 times. You know, like I'm trying to.
Yeah.
No, I think drink when they drink. That's the only one you really need.
I got a good one. Finish your drink when Jason Kelce's on the screen.
That's a good one. No, that's pretty good.
Drink while they make out for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Make out with the person sitting next to you when they make out. Keep it a surprise.
Every sexual innuendo, touch a genital.
We don't need.
It could be yours. Could be somebody else's.
Consent, everybody.
Yeah. Consensual.
That's not the way you do consent, Chris. Yeah.
Consensual. No,
I
just need to make sure.
Pretty sure that's implied.
This is the new drink responsibly, kids, and.
Yeah, I think we need to talk to Chris about consent. We just talked about it. He's like, yeah.
What do you mean? I wasn't the one that went to non-consent. Somebody else went that direction, not me.
Exactly. Right. That's the whole point of it, Chris. Okay.
All right.
He had to bring it that direction.
Would the show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok?
It didn't exist at the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why we're taking 2023 concepts and seeing if they retroactively.
So one thing, if we're pulling from the show, there is a social media influencer on the show. She actually was pretty successful. She had 1 million followers, but she's like, yeah, I use YouTube and Vine. So I think we should say this be better as a Vine.
Yeah, you didn't hit me up beforehand to do that. I would say yes, because I think the show was excruciating. But would it be a different show? Absolutely. So no.
Yeah, I mean, 6 seconds that's hard for this show.
Not 6 seconds. TikTok. Not fine.
Yeah.
Would this show be better as a YTMND?
What's a YTMD?
Yeah. See? Look, you're aging yourself already, Noah. Brian let us what a YTMND is.
You're the man now, dog.
You're the man now, dog.com.
I don't know what that is.
You can still go and check it out. It's got a funny Batman thing. That's all I remember.
You're the man, dog.
It was one of the first places on the internet where you could have a GIF and sound at the same time. Other than like a flash video. Anyway,
it's not so listening anymore, by the way.
Who is going to hook up next? So obviously it's going to be Travis Kelce.
I think it's going to be Miss Rhode Island.
Miss Rhode Island? She did make a compelling case. I don't remember who else was on the show, so I'll also go with Rhode Island. Yeah. Noah, who do you think's got it?
I think there's going to be 2 girls in a house. Now it's going to be Annika, who's a crazy one, and probably Rhode Island, because clearly now people want to see what's going on.
Well, there you go. What do you love about this show? Brian, what do you love about the show?
I love that it actually, in the same way that like Bachelor in Paradise, it shows the thirstier side of dating. It's more fun that way instead of just being reserved.
That's fair.
Bippy.
Noah, what do you love about the show?
I like that they cut 30 people at first. That was great. Unexpected and slicing.
It's almost like they should have started with like 10.
Yeah. Yeah, production cost wise, that was a waste of money. File these people out and whatnot. But and then Rhode Island coming in with that hot at the end, the womp womp.
I love Travis. He's great. Travis and Jason, I think they're funny people, and I wish the show about Travis had more Travis in it. So there you go. Would this show be better if everyone was your granddad? What was it? What was
I can't remember what the change was, but yeah, if everybody's grandparents or something.
What was if everyone was grandparent?
Yeah.
Yes, actually.
I think it would be. I think it'd be way funnier to see somebody do some of the tongue thing. Or would it be too creepy? Would it be like, oh,
no, I'm in.
Who would be the football player? Would it have to be Kelce still? Could it
would definitely be Travis Kelce. Like we're not changing a thing except for the people coming on the show.
No, I'd say it's like an older person.
Like catching Belichick.
Everyone is just older. So Travis is it's not Travis. It's just the Golden Bachelor.
No. Catching Holmgren, catching Belichick. You know,
catching Belichick. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what the show is.
I'm admittedly less in with catching Belichick, but I'm still in.
Come on, don't you think that would be more entertaining? It's like, why am I here? Where are the X's and O's? What happened? That'd be good.
Yeah. Andy Reid, catching Reid. That'd be great.
All right. I don't know who's single at this point. Catching Pete Carroll.
No, I don't know if any of them are single. They're probably not.
It doesn't matter. All right. Let's do ratings. So we do a stack ranking system between top, middle, bottom, third. And when some people stack rank in their stack ranks, Brian, what do you got for me?
This is a solid middle. I just think that if it wasn't for like the slower parts, I would be all in on this. But it was also like an hour episode. Does anybody know how long the other episodes were?
No idea. It's only 8 episodes too. So you go from 50 people to 1 in the 8 episodes.
Right. I think it's fine. I think it's just mid road. If I want to see something fun, I'll pop it
on. Noah?
Yeah. So I thought this was relatively entertaining. I'm not going to watch more, but because it's just not generally to the type of content. So yeah, it's solid middle. I think for a show of this type, it's done very well. And yeah, I think if you are a Swiftie or you are a Kelce, I guess, yeah, you might want to watch this.
What do they call them? Like 92%ers or something? The podcast fans?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear this is a bottom third show to me, but I think all Bachelor shows are pretty much bottom third. But I think I need to just watch not the first episode because Travis is probably he's like more in the next episodes where I actually kind of like he can shine and be himself, and it's not about so much about the cattiness, which is just like this show is just all about women cattiness as far as I can tell. And that's just like, I want to turn you off. I'm instantly on my phone. Like it's just like not entertaining to me, which some people it is. I don't know. So bottom third, disappointing because I do actually like the people like Travis. So that's it. That's it. I don't listen to his podcast either. So I only watch his clips on YouTube. So or TikTok, which are pretty entertaining. So what do I know?
You just know the better version of it.
That's true. Brian, you have any shout outs this week?
Well, Taskmaster Mainland is back, but it's also a better thing because they are actually putting it out next day on YouTube and their subscription service.
Oh, it's on the subscription service.
They've finally figured out that people want to watch this shit. I'm way happier about that. I'm also shouting out the prank panel because
I've been watching that.
Yeah, I think that the latest episodes, like, you kind of expect something like this to always go right. They admit when stuff goes wrong.
Yeah, there's definitely a prank, and there was one the women were getting pranked. We're like, this is funny. Like we're not pranked at all. But the prank didn't go well. It didn't go as planned. It was still pretty entertaining, I thought.
And there's definitely points where you're just like, how did this go wrong? Like, apparently one of them, it got leaked out. Like the other person found out. It's like, who the hell knows about this? You didn't see a recording. What happened?
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I like that show.
Before you move on, for not prank panel, for Taskmaster, like, what do you subscribe to? Is like a Taskmaster?
So they set up a subscription service that lets you watch like all the ones from around the world, because they expanded to New Zealand, Australia, Sweden, etc.
Interesting.
But they've also been like lagging behind. I think that they've been like having difficulty getting all the rights and stuff.
That's like a very new concept, right? Where you buy a subscription to like the central program that gets made everywhere. Like, that's a really novel concept.
Yep.
It is weird because like you'd think that it's really just a US networks have rejected Taskmaster, not like Taskmaster's found a way into US network. Like, we're watching it on YouTube because that's the only place to watch it. But if it was on Prime or it was on something else, like, we'd watch it there, and it was clearly shopped to these people, like offered to these places, because now it's just like up on their own streaming network, which is like very limited place for people to like, you know, find to make money, right?
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of like network stuff with like UK anyway. Like, you have to pay like a licensing fee just to watch TV in your home or something like that. That's wild.
If you have a TV, yeah, if you have TV in your house or something.
Yeah.
Noah, you have any shout outs?
Trying to think of anything new.
No shout outs.
I guess. Yeah. You go first. Let me noodle for a second.
Let you noodle. One Piece, the live action show, is pretty good. I caught up on that. Ahsoka is the first Star Wars thing that's felt like Star Wars since like Rogue One, probably, which is pretty good. So if you have watched like some sort of new trilogy that may or may not exist, you can come back and watch this, and it's pretty good. Those are my shout outs this week.
Nice.
Noah?
Yeah. I'm like, it's like, I know I've been watching. Okay. I'm like, I know I've been watching.
Not even new Love is Blind?
I'm not really watching that.
You definitely just quoted it, though.
No, I mean, I can reference it. So I'm going to shout out Johnny Harris. He's a YouTuber. He does like investigative journalism YouTubes, and it's quite entertaining. And then just on the YouTube track, I'm going to shout out Doug DeMuro. He's a car YouTuber. Yeah, YouTubes.
All right.
Nice.
That's it for us this week. Tell us what you thought about this show on Twitter at whoputthison. You can find us on facebook.com/whoputthison. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. And next week, we're going to watch Buddy Games, Season 1, Episode 1. Let us know what you think we should watch on Twitter at whoputthison.
Who put it on?
And we'll see you guys next time.